Welcome everyone to my latest Bandai Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts review, as we are back with another Marvel Cinematic Universe release with Ant-Man, Scott Lang from Ant-Man and the WASP QUANTUMANIA. So this is the first film in Phase 5, the second release by Bandai following the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 2-pack of course recently. And they're not done with Phase 4, there's still more Spider-Man No Way Home figures to be released this year and next. But I guess they always go along with the timeline as well. So this is the first character they've announced for this particular movie. I'm not sure if they're going to give us more later on. Most likely they'll make some sort of announcement for the next movie, which is The Marvels. So if you're familiar with the SHF boxes, I guess that since they've released Ant-Man a few times now, this is kind of the standard size. So they've used like a blue theme color, of course, to match the title. We have the usual stickers and logos at the front and a nice shot of the character. And then at the side we have a full shot of Ant-Man. And then on the other side, of course, we have a larger shot of the character. At the top we have the titles and also a logo, and then at the bottom we have some information, and then at the back we have the figure in different poses. So let's get Ant-Man out of his packaging and take a closer look. So inside we have a gold background, and we also have the instruction manual to show you how to put on the accessories. And here is the Ant-Man figure inside his packaging. So here is the Ant-Man figure right out of its packaging. So first impressions, I guess, is kind of what I expect now for the MCU figures. It's another nice representation, I guess, for their latest figure. So Ant-Man, of course, the new suit that he wears in the movie. So I never really got around to picking up that many Ant-Man figures in the past. The only one I have is the Avengers Endgame version. So that's the only one I can really compare it with. And if I quickly bring it in, you can see that the new suit does look a lot nicer. I think the red colors pop a lot more. So it will definitely feel a lot different even if you have some of the previous Ant-Man figures. Around the helmet as well, there's a lot more design on it. And I guess they've used the experience of the past Ant-Man figures to make this. And I was a bit worried in terms of the size because the Guardians of the Galaxy ones seem to be a lot bigger. But let me quickly bring in the Ant-Man once again. And it doesn't look like they've changed the size of this figure. Certainly the same as the previous one, which is good because you do want to pair it sometimes with the rest of your collection. And in terms of the design, I think there's a lot happening around the suit, of course, and I think it's pretty accurate to what we see in the movie. Of course, I don't really remember, I did watch it not too long ago, but you don't really pay attention to too much of the details, but you can see that it is done really well. And I think one of the important things is his helmet. You can see the eyes inside. And then this is the rest of the body. So suit wise, I think this is actually pretty nice. And it does feel pretty sturdy as well. Pretty solid figure, and it stands really well. And then this is all the details at the back. So I guess first impressions is what I expected of this latest Ant-Man. And yeah, I do like it. So now let's test out the articulation, so the movement of the figure, starting off with the head sculpt, so the one with the helmet on. So it can go side to side, round and round if you want, really smooth, and then left and right as well. And then downwards motion, and it does show the neck. And then upwards quite a lot as well, so really good movement there. And it's full rotation. And then for the arms, side to side, no problem. Good motion here, upwards, backwards as well, forwards, no problem. And it can stretch backwards this much. So good bicep kind of movement, inwards as well, which I do like. And there's a bicep swivel, no problem there either. Elbow bend. And then the hand turn, as well as the rotation, so the hinge. And then next up is the body. So the upper torso, you can turn it side to side, all the way around if you want. And it's good transition, so left to right as well. And then the forwards and backwards motion. And then the waist there isn't much turn. It's definitely very stiff. So out of the packaging, there's not much movement in terms of the waist. It's more on the upper torso, but I'll try and turn it for this video, but you can see it is quite stiff. And then forwards body crunch, and backwards slightly, nothing on the belt. If that is a belt, I'm not sure. Okay, forwards and then backwards, and it does split pretty well. And then there's a thigh rotation, which is good. And then we have the double jointed knees, and then there's rotation on the legs. Can also move side to side, and there's also a toe hinge. So that's the articulation, and now we can move on with the accessories. So let's start off with the alternative hands. So right out of the packaging, it does include the fisted ones. So the first set of hands is the open palms, which are called the relaxed hands, but this is more used for, of course, AntMan in his running and jumping poses. The second set of alternative hands is the pin particles on both the right and left hand, and of course this is for AntMan to change size. And the fourth set of hands is some sort of grapple hands to hold on to the accessory. And next, let's take a look at the alternative head sculpt. So as you can see, this is the helmet version, so you just remove it and then you replace it with the armrest look of Scott Lang. So his appearance has slightly changed over the years, I guess. You can see it has a lot more beard. And if I bring in the Avengers Endgame version, these are the only two AntMan SH Figuarts you can get with the armrest look. And I don't see a major improvement. I know his look has slightly changed, but I do prefer the Avengers Endgame version. As you can see, the hairstyle is slightly different as well. This new one is okay from some angles, but it does look a bit bland. But of course, it's very important to include the armrest look of AntMan. So if we're looking to pick up one with the armrest look, I guess these are the only choices, but it's really personal preference. So this one just has a bit more beard to really match up with the movie. So they've also included, of course, the helmet piece, which you have to place on the back of him. And I think you just remove the piece and you have the alternative helmet piece placed on. And we also have the bonus accessory, which is the ooze. And it was a memorable scene, but I don't think it's a very important accessory to include. And it is pretty well sculpted, but you can't really see any liquid inside. It's just like an empty kind of ball. And yeah, you just place it onto the alternative hands. And here is the ooze accessory placed into the alternative hands. So in the movie, I don't remember Scott Lang actually holding on to this, but he was definitely served it and kind of forced to drink this. And I don't really see the purpose of adding this accessory into the figure, since it doesn't really do much for me. But I guess if you do hold on to it or place it onto the side, you can really differentiate it with the rest of the AntMans in your collection. So now for some quick side-by-side comparisons, starting off with its fellow SH Figuarts. So we have the previous latest AntMan, which is from Avengers Endgame, as well as WASP from AntMan and the WASP. And here it is next to the other Phase 5 figures with the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 Star-Lord, as well as Rocket. And here it is next to the Hasbro Marvel Legends, the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man, as well as the Mafex version of the Spider-Man upgraded suit from No Way Home. And here it is next to the Jada Toy Street Fighter 2 Ryu, as well as the Jada Toy Street Fighter 2 Chun-Li. So now for my final thoughts on the SH Figuarts AntMan Scott Lang from AntMan and the WASP QUANTUMANIA. And I think by now we get what we expect for the Marvel line, which is an accurate look of the latest suit, the armrest look, some different hands, and of course some bonus accessories. You can create his dynamic poses, which is what I expected, and I do like the pin particles accessory. The armrest head sculpt is nice to always have, but it's not a major improvement to the Endgame version, and especially if you're deciding on just one AntMan SH Figuarts and you want one with the armrest look, you may even side with the Endgame version. As for the ooze, I don't think it really offers anything important, but it's always nice to have an extra accessory. So the Phase 5 hype isn't quite there anymore, but I think if you do like AntMan as a character and you don't have any of the previous ones, this is worth looking at. And of course, if you enjoyed the movie and want the latest suit, then this is definitely worth getting. So overall, this is a 7 out of 10. It's a good figure for what it is, but it's nothing to get excited about. And having said that, they could release a Stinger, which I do want to see, as it's a lot different to say another Wasp or this AntMan figure, and it would feel a lot different in your collection. Like and comment on your thoughts on this latest MCU figure, and stay tuned of course to more SH Figuarts content. Thanks for watching.